This is the Reds POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Reds POSTCAST, your live reaction show to every single Cincinnati Reds game. I am Tim Daniel. I have been covering the Cincinnati Reds in podcast forms for 5 seasons with publications such as The Riverfront and Late Night Reds. You can get my show as well as Jeff Carr and Steve Offenbaker on Locked On Reds for free on YouTube and on your podcast app of choice. And folks, they did it. The Cincinnati Reds won a game tonight after what really felt like forever. It was really only like 4 days, but they finally did win, and they won it in hilarious fashion with an 11-7 win over the Milwaukee Brewers. And what a fun game it was. If you're a baseball fan, probably the ultimate game you want to watch. If you're a fan of the Reds or the Brewers, you were probably really frustrated pulling your hair out because this game went a little bit of everywhere all over the place. But hey, but at the end of the day, the Cincinnati Reds get a win, and here's what you all will be talking about.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Guys, not only did the Reds win, but the offense, after a big lull there, coming back today, and homers, lots and lots of homers today. Well, 4, but still, it felt like a slugfest. It felt like we were playing old MLB slugfest on PlayStation 2 tonight, because you've got Blake Dunn going deep, which that in and of itself, I mean, let's be real here. You have TJ Friedl, part of his 4-hit day, hitting a nice home run there as well. You have CES with a tying for the second longest home run of the season at 451 feet. And then Jose Trevino also goes deep today as well. So the Reds have 4 home runs as a team today. And what an awesome, awesome event it was. Patrick, right? I see it. I love it. So those who don't know, I mean, I know I have some people who followed me over from Late Night Reds, and those who obviously are here at the Locked On audience who have seen me on the show occasionally know that when I wear my Darkwing Duck sweatshirt, if you see me wearing this on a show, that means things are getting dangerous. And guys, the Cincinnati Reds may just be on the verge of getting dangerous. 11 runs today, 14 runs on Monday. You know, you had 0 straight games with now a run, right? And then 2 last night. My first thought when I was watching them kind of put up these big innings, particularly when they put up the 3 spot in the 4th, was in like 3 years, when you go on Baseball Reference and you look up this Reds team, this is going to be the most funny week ever to see, because you're going to see, oh man, they scored 26 runs. I mean, they obviously won 3 games, right? No, they didn't. Well, they might tomorrow. Tomorrow might be the 3rd game they win. But it was pretty laughable that they just kept finding these games where they just were like right there. They were so close to it. And then tonight they really packed it up. The Fuzzwad, yeah, Trevino has been the best single pickup of the all season so far. I really like that. I mean, that trade has looked really good for the Reds so far. Branch Brown says he's making celebration steaks. I like that. This was just a great game, obviously, for all of us who have just been really frustrated with the last 4 games going into today. Obviously, the 4-game losing streak was really disappointing when they scored 2 runs in those 4 games and they lost each game by 1 run. But this was really a really big fun game too. Yeah, Joey Gaditza, you're right. Gavin Lux tonight, 2 for 5 with 2 RBI. Gavin Lux, I don't know if you guys have looked at his Baseball Savant page, is really unlucky. I mean, that guy's due. He's hit the ball really well throughout the season. And that's going to be something I talk about here in the next segment as well. Jacob Doyle has the CES homer landed yet. I don't know if it did. I saw it bounce off the batter's eye, but that could be anything, right? What a freaking bomb that was. And I loved it so much because John Sadak really kind of led into it so well when he was saying that, you know, CES has had so many at-bats this year where it's been decided on the first pitch, and he takes the first pitch, and then the next pitch, I believe it was the second or third pitch of the AB, he takes deep. So I was like, oh, okay. So that's what happens when he works on it a little bit. So that was great as well. TJ Friedl today, I know we're going to get into that. I'm going to get to that a little bit later in the show. But 4 for 5, 2 runs, a homer, and 2 RBI. I want to kind of mention a couple things here because I know they'll come up, obviously, as I give him praise. You guys probably think I'm like the world's biggest CJ Friedl fan because I end up talking about him every day. That is not true. For some reason, he's just a hot button with me so far this season, good and bad, depending the day. So the way he got hits tonight, starts the game off with a hit, awesome. Next at bat gets the homer, awesome. Has a bunt single in the game, awesome. Remember I yelled at him the other day and I told him to stop bunting? What do I know? And then of course then has to get his later hit as well. So that was pretty awesome as well. Santiago Espinal continues to have a really good week. 2 for 5 today, had a couple runs scored, had the rare strikeout. Doesn't happen too often with him. So that was really crazy. Elly got on base twice today. And, CES obviously is a homer. Blake Dunn hits a homer today, guys. How about that? Looked like the ball was kind of trailing. It looks like it got out there at the last minute, but you take it, right? Blake Dunn had a good game overall. I know he had the homer. He did get hit by a pitch. He scored twice today. But it was a really good game for him. And I know we're going to bring up the 2 plan. Someone's going to talk about it. Friedl forgetting how many outs there were. Thank God it didn't end up meaning as much as it potentially could have been, because the Reds offense was so good today. But overall, 11 runs, another 14-hit game is really, really great. So the Reds had 3 innings today where they put up a 3 spot, the 2nd, the 4th, and the 7th. And the 7th was without any homers. So that was pretty cool. So getting it done, not just relying on the long ball to score runs, is what you kind of want to see from a team like this. And I feel like this was just needed. We just needed a night like tonight to feel good. We needed a night like tonight to be happy after what we had the last couple of days. And I want to just make sure we get some praise out there. And I'm going to talk about something next. The 2 guys I'm going to discuss how to combine 2 hits in this game. I know, but maybe, just maybe, they were just a little unlucky. And maybe Elly and Christin Encarnacion-Strand are about to break through again. Let's talk about it here in a second. Get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trades, Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is a reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code S-H-5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. There's nothing better than catching an MLB game live. The crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, and the smell of ballpark food. And if you're looking to go last minute, Game Time makes getting tickets easier than ever. With last minute deals, all-in pricing, and a lowest price game guarantee, Game Time takes the stress out of buying MLB tickets, plus tickets drop as the game gets closer, meaning you can score an incredible deal. Me, I love when I get to take my family downtown to the banks. I like going to Holy Grail, having a quick bite to eat, maybe getting a beer or 2, watching as the prices go down closer and closer to game time, and then hopping in. It's my favorite thing to do. Catch a game at the lowest price possible. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply again. Create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Thank you all again for tuning in with me tonight on the Reds Postcast. Be sure to stay tuned into Locked On Reds with Jeff and Steve as they do their usual deep dive into the game and what tonight shows you for the potential. Well, I guess they won't do this till Monday, technically. But they love their conversation is great. You get the deeper conversation there. We're on the 15-minute show. They're the 30-minute show, and they get to do the whole shebang. They see everything. They talk about everything, and they're doing a great job as well. So obviously all the Reds content we're bringing you between myself after every game and them as well. Joey Gaditz asked, any news on Austin Hayes? I think I saw today the game plan is to have him back for the Pirates series in Cincinnati next weekend. So, hey, I just want to make sure I shout out a couple other things as well before I move on to the next portion here. I did get a compliment from Casey earlier on my Chattanooga Lookouts hat. It was fitting to wear it today because when the Reds were up 4-0, the Lookouts were also up 4-0. At the time of this recording, the Lookouts were up 6-4 against Rochester. So, I mean, maybe no Rocket City. Oh, they're playing. Are they playing the Trash Pandas? It's Trash Panda night against them tonight. So, really excited for the Lookouts as well. My cousin actually lives down there, so I want to try to get to a game at some point. But hey, let's talk about the turning point of tonight's game, shall we?
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
So, we're all felt a little snake bitten there for a bit, right? Tonight when, they're hitting these home runs. It's like, that can't really work out, right? There's just no way. The seventh inning was a turning point. Milwaukee fought themselves back into the game. They made it 7-5. Jake Friedl made a atrocious play in the outfield and really let Milwaukee back in it. Thankfully, Brady Singer was only charged with 3 of those 5 runs, so it doesn't crush his ERA too bad. After giving up 3 runs in 5 1/3, he's up to a 2.25. By the way, and then the 7th inning comes along, and the Reds just string hits together and make plays. And Elly de la Cruz, who had been 1 for 12 against lefties going into that at-bat, gets a nice solid hit to bring in TJ Friedl and Jose Trevino and make it 9-5. So this is good. Yeah, Johnny, maybe you're right. Maybe that is an understatement. But shout out to the guys as well. And so those who, I check the comments regularly, not to boost my ego or ruin my day by any means. Depending on the comments you look at, it can do either. Just to kind of see what people are saying in response to the games. And I've been getting a lot of flack for talking about just that the guys aren't hitting. And I'm criticizing some guys, and I'm talking about how some other guys are doing better. And a couple of those guys have been Elly and CES. And what I'm referencing is, if you look at Baseball Savant, which is a beautiful website for any baseball fan, they make it to where you don't just rely on batting average. This will tell you how a guy is playing big picture, whether he's just on a streak, whether he's not doing well, whether he's just really unlucky. I know a lot of people are bringing up, Elly's always going to strike out. That's just what it is. I don't care. I really don't care. Everything he brings you on the field, you can move past the strikeouts. You want him to go down for sure. Today, I thought he had a really good game. He didn't strike out. He got on base twice. He had a nice walk. That was huge. And then, of course, had that hit I mentioned as the turning point of the game today. But realistically, had just had a lot of heart. I mean, he's in the red in a lot. He's in the elite percentile in many different categories. So Elly being 1 for 12. I think he had 1 hit. I think he was 1 for like since the 2 home run game against Texas on Monday. So to see him get that hit was awesome. And then CES with that homer tonight was 1 for his last 17 and had a lot of hard hit balls, like a lot. This was mentioned to me last night on the show when I talked about his sacrifice fly. And then I went and looked it up and just saw that he is squaring it up. It is just dying. Much like Matt McClain's had a lot of balls that are squaring up and dying as well, which is what I meant by when Matt McClain is hitting. And CES and Elly to get those 2 hits, I think is just something where it feels like last night when they made that rally and they made it a 1-run game, and I know they lost. It felt like last night could be the start of this team getting the offense back that we saw as their ceiling. There are still situations where, I probably shouldn't say that quite yet because Tyler Stevenson's not back. Austin Hayes isn't back. And Jake Friedl still playing a lot of at-bats. Jake Friedl didn't get pitched hit for tonight. Went lefty on lefty. I think that was his hit, actually, if I remember correctly. But still, I am shocked how disappointed I am in Jake Friedl because I really, coming out of 23, I thought 24 and 25 was going to be really good. And I wrote 24 off because he had all his personal issues, and I can't even imagine all the things he went through with his family. And then 25 and 25 so far has been really bad. For the record, he does have options. So I want to make sure we discuss that real quick. At this point, this is one of the things I love about the Francona regime, where, the results haven't been necessarily great. They're 3-6. But these guys who you kind of just like penciled in to be major leaguers on the roster have got, like, a few of them got sent down, right? I mean, Will Benson got sent down. And so far, it seems like it's the best thing for him. He's played really well in AAA. Noelvi Marte got sent down, has had some really nice games for Louisville. So maybe, and maybe Fraley just needs that. I don't know. I'm not a manager. Though I am 47-3 now on MLB The Show, as I mentioned in a comment the other day. I got an additional win. So this is pretty rough. That Jake Fraley error tonight. And I don't want to just poo-poo on the night because it's such a great night for the Reds. Was really one of the worst plays I think I've seen from a right fielder. And now I'm going to talk about when Gia Bruce played first base bad. There, guys, if you remember that weird stint when Joey got hurt in 14. That was bad. But neither here nor there. Thankfully, the tooth bland and the bad error ended up not mattering, and the team won the game. Guys, I want to talk about Tony Santillan here in a second. Before we get to that, let's get to our Locked On Player of the Game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
I almost didn't want to do it because of the two plan I aforementioned two plan, but it has to be TJ Friedl. And I almost didn't want to do it because I've found a way to talk about him in every game, not intentionally. Like, if you look at my notes, I should start posting my notes so you guys can see. It's not like I just write him in every game. It's just he does something good or bad every day that to talk about. And I know he got thrown out at second in the first inning trying to steal, and that dude just made a hell of a tag. I mean, Wilson Contreras, I didn't think made the best throw, really. That tag on his foot, I was like, that was a hell of a tag. And you just that's one of your tip your cap. That guy made a play. But TJ Friedl night, 4 for 5 with a homer, did a whole lot of everything for the Reds. So kudos to him as well. Guys, let's talk about Tony Santillan tonight, because like I mentioned, this was a night where this was all hands on deck. What's going on with the season? So, like, what's going on with the losing streak, and the Reds are yet to win 2 games in a row. To win 2, you got to win 1, right? And it's the first time we saw Scott Barlow not be very good this year. Only lasted 2/3, gave up a couple runs. I'm not worried about Scott Barlow. I just want to make sure I get to that. And then Tony Santillan had to pitch an inning and a third tonight, and his stuff looked filthy. So Tony Santillan, an inning and a third, 3 strikeouts, 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, and was awesome. I mean, it was like, as this game is kind of shrinking down, it's getting really close. Milwaukee's making a run at it again, trying to potentially get back in this game. Santillan comes in and keeps them off the scoreboard. What they've gotten from him these last 2 seasons, being, the very short 25 and 24 since he came back up, from a guy who got designated for assignment to turn around and do this, has been awesome. And I talk about this all the time. It seems like it's Emilio Pagan's job to be the closer, and that's just Tito being old school. But if it were me, I would absolutely be someone who would use multiple guys in that role. And I think I'm willing to put Tony Santillan to have that situation. I think he has earned the right that if they're really going to have Emilio Pagan be the closer, and we'll see what happens when Alexis Diaz comes back. I didn't see how he pitched yet in Louisville yesterday, but he's pitching tomorrow. But if they're just going to kind of do the committee thing, which I think they should, I think Santillan should be in that committee. I really think that he at least deserves a shot. See how it goes. He blows a game, it's not for him. But I think he's at least earned the right to see if he can do it. And this was an excellent, excellent performance tonight. So this was really awesome. So with that being said, guys, the Cincinnati Reds are finally victorious again in a Major League Baseball game, 11-7. The Cincinnati Reds, 11 runs on 14 hits and 1 error. We talked about that. The Milwaukee Brewers, 7 runs, 12 hits, 1 error. Brady Singer, your winning pitcher, 2-0 with a 2.25 ERA. Your losing pitcher is Elvin Rodriguez, 0 for 2 now with an 11 ERA. Tomorrow, the boys look to have their first split series of the year. And why that's important is they're trying to make sure they don't lose another series. Carson Spires gets the ball again, 0-1 right now. The 1.5 was awesome in that Rangers game, was the first of the 1-0 losses, obviously. Going up against Milwaukee's Chad Patrick, who is 0-0 with a 3.18 ERA. That game is at 2:10 Eastern tomorrow. I will be here shortly after the last out to talk with you guys. Thank you all so much for hanging out. The Cincinnati Reds, big-time winners. We will take it. Take it easy, everybody.